Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit more longer-term technical analysis on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets because, guys, I was doing my technical analysis before I start recording these videos, as I always do, and I came out to the weekly chart and I saw something rather frightening. I was quaking in my boots when I saw this, guys. Bitcoin has been rallying in a very strong manner here for 4 weeks. Bitcoin, during the month of May, was extremely bullish. The last weekly candlestick that we saw actually barely even closed green, though, and we saw a very long lower shadow, a very long lower wick, and actually this weekly candlestick, which isn't closed yet, but has just opened, is actually red. It's quite red. Now, this has a lot of time left in it, but this chart does not look very bullish for Bitcoin, and it makes me want to talk about the bearish scenario on Bitcoin again, because even though Bitcoin down on the hourly chart looks to be rather bullish and looks to be rather healthy, it doesn't look like we're necessarily going to see a crash right now. We might. Just because of that, that doesn't mean that the longer-term technicals for Bitcoin are any more bullish, guys. I want to talk about the bearish technicals in the longer-term time frames today because I think we need to be prepared for a correction. Guys, we've been rallying for nearly 4 months now. Bitcoin is going to have a correction eventually, and it wouldn't surprise me if it happened in this month or early in next month. So that's what we're going to be discussing in today's video, guys. We always want to be prepared for the worst and hope for the best. That's the best way to trade, and that's the best way to do this whole life thing in general. But before we get down into it, guys, I did announce that we were running a giveaway in yesterday's video, so I want to go ahead and announce those winners. We're going to go ahead and go over to yesterday's video. I'm going to scroll down here in the comments, and I picked 2 winners. Like I said, I was going to pick 2 people and give them $60 worth of Bitcoin, and I was going to enroll one of them in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Well, guys, after reading these 2 comments, I've actually changed the rewards I'm going to be giving out. I'm going to be giving both of them $120 worth of Bitcoin, and I'm going to be enrolling both of them in the course because both of their comments really pulled on my heartstrings. The first person who's going to win is Jimmy Mueller here. I'm not in the course, but I'd like to be. But I'm trying to get enough money saved up in Bitcoin to make a better life for myself and my son. And that right there, I knew I was going to pick you as soon as you said that. I've been watching your channel for a while, looking at new information to learn, and as much as, and you know as much from my other comments in the past, look forward to your channel info. Anyway, he mentioned his son. He mentioned that he was trying to make a better life for him and his son. And guys, you probably don't know this about me, but I grew up rather poor, actually. So that really hits home for me. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and send him his Bitcoin. But I do also want to announce the next person who's going to be winning. We scroll down here a little bit, and we're going to find, where is he? We see R and RD right here. Now, I'm not going to read this person's entire comment, but it definitely also pulled on my heartstrings a little bit. So we're going to be sending both of them $120. I'm not enrolled in the course, but I've been considering purchasing it for many reasons. I've been dealing with a chronic illness brought on by mold exposure in 2011 and 12. That really sucks, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. Now I have a very severe and random allergies, mostly to chemicals, certain foods, and of course mold. You can see my family story on my video blog channel, Modern Life Survivalist. I checked out their channel. I blew my life savings in 2013 on medical treatment because my health insurance didn't cover the difficult complications of the condition. Because of my illness, I can't work a normal job and have to work mostly from home, which I do as much as I can with the energy I can muster. Skipping down here, he said, Jeb, please help this good-hearted man with a weary body and spirit learn to fish so I can better feed my family. Well, I'll see if I can do something to help on both of those fronts, guys. Let's go ahead and send them Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and send them Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and send them their Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and grab this. This is going to be the first one right here. Go ahead and send them not 120 Bitcoin. We're going to send them $120 worth of Bitcoin. Let's make sure that's right. That is correct. Excuse Hubert. I'm sorry. He's very excited that we're doing a Bitcoin giveaway. There's the first $120. For any of you guys who think I was faking this, you're watching it right now. You can go and find this on the blockchain if you would like. And we're going to scroll down here again and get R and RD's Bitcoin address right here. This wallet, by the way, is the wallet that is used to receive Bitcoin transactions when people buy the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. You can see all the transactions down here. A lot of you guys don't realize this, but whenever you purchase the Bitcoin Academy, you can actually purchase it with Bitcoin. And when you purchase it, it goes into this wallet. So basically all the Bitcoin here is for that. My other Bitcoin's elsewhere, but that's where that goes. So let's go ahead and send R and RD their Bitcoin as well. 1HA. 5XM, all correct. Let's go ahead and send them that $120 worth of Bitcoin, not $1,200 worth of Bitcoin. We're going to keep that for right now. We'll do more giveaways in the future. Anyway, there you go. There's your $120 worth of Bitcoin. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that was the giveaway. R and RD and also Jimmy Mueller up here. Go ahead, both of you. I want you to send me an email at cryptojeb@gmail.com, and I'll get you guys enrolled for the course for free. There's your $120. I'm not going to give them the $120 and make them give it back to me for the course. They're going to also be enrolled in the course for free. That is not what I'm trying to do here. I'm not going to make them pay for it. So anyway, guys, if you're seeing this video, shoot me an email. If not, I'll try and get in contact with you if you don't see this video. Anyway, guys, without much further ado, I know that took a little while, but we did need to get to that. Let's go ahead and dive right on into the video. Bitcoin is currently trading around $8,500, and that is all well and good, but as you guys may know, Bitcoin has been losing some of its bullish strength here over the last couple of days. Not really over the last couple of days, over the last couple of weeks, we've seen Bitcoin just kind of taper off. It's been moving to the upside here in this ascending wedge right here, in this ascending wedge trading channel, depending on how you want to look at it. I'm going to call it a wedge. Bitcoin's been losing quite a bit of its bullishness, in my opinion. Bitcoin was moving much more to the upside back over here in the month of May, earlier on in the month of May. But in these last couple of weeks, Bitcoin has been basically trading sideways. The last 7 days or so, Bitcoin hasn't really been doing a whole lot bullish. We were moving to the upside, and now we're moving to the sideways, which basically means that we're actually starting to have this kind of curve from bullish all the way over kind of to bearish. Now, that's not necessarily to say that Bitcoin is going to have a crash. That's not necessarily to say that Bitcoin can't go to $10,000. We'll talk about that later on in the video, but it is to say that we need to be ready for some kind of correction. And I know I've talked about this a lot, but I think it's important that we look at this from all angles, and there's several things that I haven't discussed on this topic that you guys need to be aware of. It's very important that we're able to predict and prepare for these kind of corrections so that we don't have something terrible happen, like Bitcoin crashes when we're least expecting it, like we think Bitcoin's going to go to 10K and then it crashes and we lose all our money. And guys, one of the things that really prompted me to make this video, like I said, is what this weekly chart looks like. This looks absolutely terrible. I don't know about you guys, but this looks like we had a good run, but now it's over. And yes, I realize that this weekly candlestick just opened. Disregarding this weekly candlestick right here, this red candlestick, it still doesn't look good. If you guys are in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, what I want you to do is go down here and watch the video on Heikin-Ashi candles and also on candlestick charts. In those two videos, I talk about the wicks, excuse me, of candlesticks and candlestick analysis. And yes, I say wicks on purpose. People correct me on that. I say that because it sounds funny. A lot of people don't realize the importance of what the wicks look like on these candlesticks. And if we see here, every single week that goes by, the wicks on top of the candlestick gets smaller and smaller and smaller, while the wick on the bottom part of the candlestick gets longer and longer and longer. We saw this trend for 3 weeks here, where we saw very bullish based on the way the wicks look, very kind of moderately bullish, and actually not very bullish at all. This looks like almost a hammer, where Bitcoin has a very short upper wick and a very long bottom wick. And that's not a good thing, because typically the direction that the longer wick is pointing is the direction that either the bulls or the bears are facing. So let's say the longer wick is on top like it is right here. That typically means that the bulls are stronger, but if the bottom wick is longer and this much longer than the top wick, a lot of times that's going to mean the bears are stronger. And we don't get into that in shorter term technical analysis all that much, because oftentimes it's a very short term indicator that's going to be important for the next couple of candlesticks. So it's not something that's very important on shorter term intervals unless you're doing very short term technical analysis. But Bitcoin out here on the longer term time frame, seeing these 3 candlesticks, and especially this one right here, actually seeing those candlesticks is not actually a good thing. This does not look bullish, it looks bearish. Let me show you an example of what looks bullish on Bitcoin. If we look back over to 2017, this candlestick right here looked hecka bullish. That candlestick looked ridiculously bullish because Bitcoin had a very small bottom candlestick down here. I can't believe I just said heck. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Bitcoin had a very small candlestick down here, a very small wick down here, and a very long upper wick up there. And that was indicating a lot of bullishness. You could almost call this kind of a shooting star candlestick. That's not exactly what that would look like, but it's kind of something similar. It's a similar concept. We talk about that in the How to Read Candlestick. Actually, we talk about that in the Introduction to Candlestick Analysis video. I correct myself. But guys, I think the point I'm trying to make is that everything that we've been talking about here for the last couple of weeks about potential Bitcoin bearishness and a potential Bitcoin correction is probably going to be predicted with this weekly candlestick right here, this red one. It very well may not stay red. It very well may turn green. It very well may go straight to the moon, guys. I don't know what's going to happen because I don't have my crystal ball. Like I said, I keep forgetting and I keep leaving that in the other room. But depending on how this closes is going to tell us a lot about the month of June for Bitcoin. If it closes red, that probably means that we're going to have a correction in the next 2 weeks. If it does manage to close green, and it does manage to rally above where it was recently, right above $8,700 or so, if we do manage to do that, then potentially we have some more steam in us. And guys, that's pretty much what we want to talk about on the weekly chart, but on the daily chart, it's another story entirely also, and especially down here on the hourly chart. If we look at the hourly chart, yes, Bitcoin is looking rather bullish. It's been moving to the upside here in this ascending wedge. I think what's going to happen here, guys, I'll go ahead and tell you what I think is going to happen. I think Bitcoin is more than likely, anyway, it might break this as a level of support and fall, but I think what's going to happen more than likely is that Bitcoin is going to do something like this. We're going to drag these trading channel trend lines out, over the next couple of weeks, or the next couple of days, and Bitcoin's probably going to come up here. It's probably going to break bullish up to $10,000, and we're going to have some ridiculous resistance up here. It's It's going to be very hard for Bitcoin to get through $10,000, and it's probably going to reject. It's probably going to reject rather hard, actually. Bitcoin isn't going to be able to get through it. At least I don't think so. There's a very good chance that, yes, Bitcoin might be able to get through that. I don't think that's the case. I think Bitcoin's going to rally to 10K and fall over. But let's not just assert what we think is going to happen. Let's also discuss why what we think is going to happen is going to happen. Guys, it has a lot to do with the technical indicators we're looking at. Look at the MACD. Look at the daily MACD. This is one of the most important technical indicators in technical analysis. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I'm not putting precedence and I'm not putting importance where there isn't any. This is a very important technical indicator on the daily charts. Great for predicting these kind of time duration moves, the kind of duration that we're looking at here, where we're looking at what's going to be happening over the next month or so. Bitcoin has turned quite bearish on the MACD. In fact, if we look at the histogram down here, we're pretty much tied right now for the most bearish Bitcoin has been on the MACD in quite some time. We're basically tied. Tomorrow is probably going to be even worse, depending on what Bitcoin does today. Bitcoin is looking rather bearish on the MACD, and normally the MACD is a lagging indicator, but right now there's a good chance that it actually could be a predictive indicator, and that this crash on the MACD could be indicative of something a lot stronger on the longer terms up here on the daily chart. Because like I said, guys, Bitcoin has basically been moving sideways here over the last week and a half or so, and when MACD is this far above the zero level, as you guys will learn in the MACD video if you're in the course, when Bitcoin is that far above, when Bitcoin's MACD is that far above the zero level, it has a tendency to be dragged back towards the zero level. That's programmed into the MACD for a reason, and that's because markets don't tend to just rally forever. They don't normally do that. Sometimes they do, and they do what Bitcoin's doing here, but normally they're going to have a pullback, and it's assumed in the calculation of the MACD that that's going to be the case, which is why the MACD does what it's doing right now, and is being dragged back towards zero so heavily, even though Bitcoin is still kind of pseudo-bullish. And that's not a flaw in the programming of the MACD. That's actually one of the things that makes it so powerful, is that the market the code that programs the MACD understands why exactly the market is, how exactly the market's going to work. It has a tendency to pull back to zero because the market has a tendency to correct after a little while. If you guys are interested in how MACD is calculated, I'm not getting into it in today's video. We go over it 100% in the MACD video there in C22A. Another one that I want to talk about has to do with the RSI. You guys know that the RSI has had this uptrend that it's been sitting above for months. This is a very interesting pattern, by the way. You normally don't see this kind of thing. A lot of people have talked about the uptrend of support, but not many people have talked about the uptrend of resistance. We have this kind of broadening trading channel here in the RSI, and you really don't see this a whole lot. When you see this pattern on the chart, a lot of times it means that Bitcoin is like getting a lot more momentum. It's rallying. It's very bullish, and that we're seeing a lot more volatility. That's kind of what we saw in the RSI here. You don't see this a whole lot. It's kind of an interesting pattern. Definitely something you want to learn from, but it is something that's going to have to come to an end. Eventually, Bitcoin is going to come down here and break this RSI. And as you guys can see, we've already kind of been trying to. Bitcoin's come down here and tested this RSI uptrend about 4 times now. And as you guys know, especially from the support and resistance video here in the course, I'm going to keep shamelessly self-promoting it because I think it's funny. In this support and resistance video, we talk about how when you come down and you test a level of support or you test a level of resistance over and over and over and over and over again, over times 20 again, when you do that, eventually it's going to be broken. Eventually it's going to weaken that level of support or resistance to the point where it will be broken. And right now, Bitcoin has been coming down testing this RSI level quite a lot recently. That's not a very major indicator, but it is something that I want to point out that it might be indicative of something. That's not where I'm going to be putting all my weight. One of the things I do want to look for is the weekly RSI, or the weekly MACD, excuse me, guys. This is a very important indicator. And as I talked about in a video recently, this is a bit of a rehash. In a video recently, I talked about how you can use the MACD as a predictive indicator. A lot of times what you'll see on the MACD is that the cross, like I mentioned earlier, is a lagging indicator. It happens after something important happens. It happens after the major move starts, and then the MACD will turn bullish and carry on through the last maybe 2/3 of the movement, which is kind of what we're seeing right here, guys. Bitcoin was already kind of bullish when we crossed bullish on the MACD, and we saw the MACD was bullish for the majority of this time. But right back over here, this was the signal that I was looking for and that I look for on the MACD oftentimes when the color of the histogram changes from red to green, or when it changes from green to red. Because when the MACD does that, What that means is that the MACD is looking to go ahead and have a reversal. It just means that it hasn't had time to cross itself yet. So you could have used this as a predictive indicator, and this is a lagging indicator for the beginning of the rally that we're starting right now, even though this just happened to cross right around that time. And guys, if we look right now, as we can see, the histogram bars are actually getting shorter over here on the 0 level. The MACD line and the signal line are closing in on themselves, and that does indicate that we probably see a bearish cross in the next 2 to 3 months. Remember though, guys, bearish crosses are lagging indicators. It's possible that that bearish cross would happen after a correction, but also keep in mind that any correction will probably be short-lived and last less than 3 weeks, at least in my humble opinion. One more thing I want to bring up has to do with the weekly RSI. As you guys know, RSI is a very important technical indicator out here on the weekly chart. A lot of times what we saw in 2017 was that RSI would go up to 90 or 85 and then crash and then just do that over and over again, and that's how we saw Bitcoin have rallies. And right now we're seeing a similar thing. Bitcoin's MACD is just, or excuse me, Bitcoin's RSI has just come up to 80 and does look like it's correcting right now. But of course, we have to take a massive grain of salt with this because this red candlestick is very new and it is being used to calculate the RSI here, so we want to be careful using that. But the fact is we are rather overbought on the RSI. Like I've said in many videos on RSI, that is not a signal yet. You want to wait for a reversal in the direction of the RSI and the stochastic RSI before you take a signal, but that's something we're going to want to keep an eye out for. In summary, guys, pretty much what I'm trying to get to in today's video is that, yes, I think Bitcoin does still have some room to run. I still think that probably at least the first half of June is going to be bullish and then Bitcoin's going to rally here. Now, guys, there's a chance that Bitcoin breaks bearish right here while we're testing it. That's possible. I'm not really even going to get into that. The point I'm trying to make is that I'm not predicting so much what's going to happen here over the next couple of days. I'm trying to make sure that you guys understand that at some point there is going to be a correction. And the reason I'm saying this, I know people are like, oh, Jeb, well, there's going to be a correction. Wow, you're such a genius. No, that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that I want you to understand that there is going to be a correction, because I see a lot of people FOMOing. I see a lot of people buying just a crap ton of Bitcoin. They're just throwing money at Bitcoin thinking it's going to go up forever. That Bitcoin's just going to rally to the moon and back, and actually not to the moon and back, to the moon and the stars and the next galaxy next door or whatever. People think that Bitcoin is going to rally forever, and that's just not what's happening, guys. There's going to be a correction. Bitcoin is losing some of its bullish momentum. Bitcoin is still bullish, and that bullish momentum can be regained very quickly if we have a nice breakout. Like, for example, if we break above 10K, everything that I just said will be completely irrelevant if that happens, but I'm not convinced that that's what's going to happen. I think Bitcoin is going to have a correction at $10,000, and when it has a correction at $10,000, we're going to come down here, we're going to test the 20 EMA, and we're probably going to break it because we've been overdue for a correction for so very long, and after we break it, we're probably going to come down here and start testing levels of support, such as the 50 weekly move, or the 50 daily moving average, and a couple other moving averages that I'll discuss more when the time comes. What I don't want you guys doing is making the mistake that so many people made back over here in 2017 when Bitcoin was rallying and rallying and rallying, because everybody thought, okay, well, Bitcoin's going to go to $3,000 and it's going to be great. And then Bitcoin went to $3,000 and it was great. And then everybody said, okay, Bitcoin's going to go to $5,000 and it's going to be great. And then it went to $5,000 and it was great. I was there. And then Bitcoin crashed. Everybody said, okay, Bitcoin's going to go to $10,000, and Bitcoin did, and it was great. And then Bitcoin kept going. That time didn't have a pullback. Bitcoin kept going. Bitcoin kept rallying. Bitcoin didn't have a correction. And guys, you know what happened. Bitcoin ran to $20,000. Everybody was excited. Everybody was buying Lamborghinis, popping champagne corks, like I said in the video earlier, having duets with Nickelback. Everybody was enjoying themselves, having a grand old time. They were all sitting around the campfire singing Kumbaya. But of course, the time always comes that the bears will have their day, and Bitcoin had its crash from $20,000. If you go back to the very first video that I ever uploaded on this channel, you will see that I was making the same prediction back there that I am now, and that was that we were in a very long rally. I made that video right about here. I said that this correction, this 4-day correction from $8,000 to about $5,600, this one right here, was not deep enough. This was not a big enough correction to warrant this major move. It was not a deep enough correction. It needed to correct further. And Bitcoin, because it didn't have a big correction now, is going to have a big correction in the future. Bitcoin ran to $20,000 and I looked like a fool for a month and a half. But guess what? I ended up getting vindicated because a Bitcoin bear market started. That was the very first video that was ever uploaded on this channel called Is Bitcoin Overextended? Go watch it. The video was terrible, but that's what I was saying. I'm saying the exact same thing now. Everybody seems to think Bitcoin's going to go to the moon. They always think it's going to go to the stars. And well, yes, it's going to. It's not going to happen that quickly. Bitcoin hasn't had a major pullback yet. It's going to have something. It might have a small pullback and then wait for the bigger pullback later, or it might have a big pullback now. But we're going to have one this month or early next month, I believe. Now, maybe we won't. Maybe we will. I'm always bullish on Bitcoin in the long term. I think Bitcoin has more room to run right now, but I want you guys to be careful. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. We're going to be doing some more videos on what Bitcoin might do if it corrects later on. I don't want to just spread a bunch of FOMO right now because I see a lot of people spreading FOMO. I'm not naming any names. There's nothing wrong with that. Bitcoin is doing very well. I'm not insulting anyone, but I don't want to spread any FOMO because a lot of people are investing a lot of money right now, and the last thing I want to see happen is for a ton of people to invest a bunch of Bitcoin and get burned, leave the space, and it cancel the bull market, and it gets pushed off to next year because everybody who was excited for the bull market lost a ton of money and said, screw it, I'm just going to go invest in, I don't know, gold or something, and waste their money in that market. No offense to people who like gold. I prefer Bitcoin myself. But anyway, guys, I do appreciate all of you guys leaving your comments in the comment section down below of the last video. I apologize I couldn't give Bitcoin out to more of you guys, but of course, this is my long-term investment. Like I said, whenever you pay for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, it goes in this wallet, and it stays in this wallet for the next, I don't know, 25 years probably, so I'm not moving any of this. If you guys ever do want to pay for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, you can join one of these people down here who have bought the course with Bitcoin. All you gotta do is shoot me an email, and if you're looking to join the course, you can pay with Bitcoin. I might even give you a little bit of a discount for paying with Bitcoin because I do like myself some Bitcoin. Before we wrap the video up, guys, though, I do want to make a little bit of an announcement, and that is that sale, May 2019, is actually going to be extended for one more day. And the reason for that was not because I wanted to extend it for one more day, but it's because my marketing agency, Disruptive, they actually they have the pricing plan for the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy in some of the ads, and I'm not very good at Google Ads, so I can't go in and move that. So I'm actually not able to change the pricing plan until I get in touch with them. So yada, yada, yada. Basically, the course price is going to be rising tomorrow, and I'm going to be discussing that with them today. So I do apologize for that you guys get one more day to join the course. If you want to join the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy and learn all about cryptocurrency and learn about how to work in these markets, I do highly recommend joining the course, guys. The link is in the description down below. That coupon code is going to be lasting one more day. Never again will the Bitcoin Academy's Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy be this inexpensive. Right now, with the coupon, it's $119.20. It will never be that inexpensive again. I will run sales in the future, but since I'm going to be running sales on a higher retail price, it means that even with the sale price is still going to be higher than $149. So, guys, if you want to join the course, if you've been looking to join the course for a long time, today is your very last day, assuming that I'm able to get this pricing plan worked out. If not, we're going to have one more day. But most likely, this is your very last day. You have 24 hours left. I got to get this fixed. Anyway, guys, we go over basically everything you need to know to do technical analysis in this academy, guys. We talk about all kinds of different technical indicators. More are going to be coming out here soon. I've had so much stuff to do, I haven't gotten to it, but there are going to be more videos coming out there soon. If you're in the course, you get access to all current and all future videos for one flat price. If you're new to the cryptocurrency space, check out the introduction. These couple of videos here will explain to you how to do some very basic things, like how you just set up TradingView, which is the charting software we use, how to set up Binance. And the reason I include these is basically just for filler. These aren't part of the price. I just threw these in for people who needed it, because TradingView can be kind of daunting, and so too can Binance if you're new to the space. And of course, when we move down here to the technical analysis portion, we go over many more advanced concepts. A game of statistics and probabilities is one I'm a very big fan of. Like I said, there's no guarantees in the cryptocurrency space. There's no guarantees in trading and investing. You have to be ready for things to not go the way that you expect them to. And that's one of the things that video covers. This video, how to plan and execute profitable trades, is one of my favorite videos in the course, and was actually requested by one of the students in the course way back just after it launched. They said, Jeb, I love the course. I enjoy all the content. I'm a very big fan. I'm a very big fan. And they said, well, that's all great that we know how to do technical analysis now, but we need to know how to incorporate that into our trades. And I said, you know what? You're right. Let's go ahead and fix that. So I went ahead and I put together 3 example trades. I'll go ahead and show you where one of them is. One of those example trades is back over here on this absolutely beautiful market between $3,000 and $5,000. Back over here, I show you guys an example trade of how you would have wanted to trade this, set up your risk and reward, how to set up your stop losses, how to predict your profits, all of that kind of stuff. I do that with 3 different examples on 3 different charts with, I believe, 3 different cryptocurrencies. It's either on Bitcoin and Ethereum, or Bitcoin, Ethereum, and another altcoin. I forget. I recorded the video so long ago. Many of these videos are very valuable, guys. If you don't know the lessons in these videos, one of these videos can easily be worth the course price because of what it can make you. If you understand these concepts, you are going to be more profitable in the course than if you didn't. I am not saying, and I'm not guaranteeing, that you're going to make more money because you took my course, but I am saying that if you go through this course and you learn the lessons in this course and you apply the lessons in this course, you are going to be a better analyst than you are now. Let me say that again. If you go through the course and you apply the lessons that you were taught in this course, you are going to be a better analyst and a better trader and investor, therefore, than you are now. These are very important skills. These are very important lessons that I've learned both the hard way, the easy way, and the expensive way over the last year and a half or two as I've been working through and building up my own repertoire of technical analysis. This stuff is very important. I don't want you guys to miss out on this because this sale should be ending tomorrow if I can get this worked out. If not, like I said, you'll have one more day, but more than likely it will be getting sorted out today. I see no reason why it wouldn't. Anyway, guys, if you are interested in joining CT2A, the link is in the description. This will be your last time to get in for this inexpensive. There will be sales in the future, but in the future, those sales will be even the sale price will be more than the retail price of the course right now. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. I do want to thank once again Andre Lee for sponsoring this little giveaway. He initially only contributed half of the Bitcoin, and then I doubled it, so he contributed a quarter of it, but he didn't know that because I just did this without telling him. So, hello, Andre Lee. Thank you very much, and I'm glad that I pronounced your name correctly. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I do want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.